I'm Wilkins. Welcome to the Motorcycle Diaries new home here at bikechannel.com. Hi, I'm Nick Wilkins from the Motorcycle Diaries, here for bikechannel.com at P&H Motorcycles in Crawley. It's my first visit today and this is going to be my first review for Bike Channel, and I'm rather excited because I'm taking out a Ducati Hypermotard 796. I've never ridden one before, it's going to be awesome. I believe it's over there, it's time to go check it out. Right then, so here we are. I've got my keys from the lovely Sean here at P&H Motorcycles. You guys are as passionate about bikes as I am, actually, it's got to be said. Now, I've ridden a lot of Ducatis in the past, the racers, the monsters, the 1198, Street Fighter, but I've never ridden one of their Hypermotards. This is a 796, the kind of baby of the bunch. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, just look at it. It looks like a BMX bike with a mad twin engine on it. I think this is, as my first bike of the year, my first review, I'm going to be throwing this around a lot on the road. So I suppose the next thing to do is to get on it and give it a go. Right then, so here we are on Epsom Downs with a rather awesome Ducati 796 Hypermotard. Now this bike I've had for a week. It's been wet, it's been raining, we've even had some snow, but I've had a hell of a lot of fun on it. Today we're going to head out, we're going to get some footage of me out riding, and I'll let you know my final thoughts on just what makes this bike a little bit special. So here we are, back from my ride out around Headley and the Downs here in Epsom, and it may be freezing, about 2 degrees, and my hands are in my pocket, but as you can see, if it hasn't gone completely numb, there is a big smile on my face. And that's the kind of feeling this Ducati Hypermotard 796 just gives you. It is just so much fun to get on, even in nasty conditions, and give it a real tweak. It wants to be revved, it wants you to ride it hard, and it makes you feel a little bit like a hooligan. It's kind of like, actually, if I think about it, a puppy dog. You know, it just wants to jump up and play at you the whole time, chase balls, and you're just never going to get bored of it. Now, I come from a bit of a sports bike background, and I wouldn't have considered a bike like this before, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you what, I think a lot of people will be missing out on a lot of fun. But let's break it down and let you know exactly what I think about it. Okay, first of all, it's a Ducati, it's Italian. Let's talk about its looks, because this bike may not be the sexiness of, say, the 1198 or even the Monster with the kind of round curved lines, but there's something about it. It just has got an edge to it, I think, that makes it so appealing. Looking at the front, look at the character on that. It's a little bit different, it's light, it's small, and it just has that kind of complete package. Obviously, you can get this in matte black. I believe it's actually cheaper if you do as well, but you've got to have a Ducati in red if you ask me. And with the cans tucked away under the seat, it's just compact. You know, it's thin, it's narrow, and as the looks-wise go, I think it's pretty sweet. Okay, so at the heart of this Ducati Hypermotard 796, despite the badge, is an 803cc 90-degree V-twin. Now, all Ducati twins come with a lot of passion and deliver a lot of punch. This one is no exception. If anything, though, having not ridden the 1100, but having spoken to people that have, it's a lot more usable, you know? It really just wants to be revved. You're not going to feel like it's going to completely take your head off when you do. It's not really a wheelie machine, but it provides a lot of fun. And the great thing is with most Ducati twins, there's no power band as such. It's kind of on or off. It's like a pneumatic drill. And I love that feeling between my legs, no matter how camp that sounds. It just delivers exactly what you'd expect from a Ducati engine-wise. There's passion, but as I said, the usability factor of this bike and this engine, I think, is what makes it stand out. So what else is there to touch on? Well, one thing, a couple of little bits of disappointment, which is obviously scaled. Let's make it kind of appropriate because it is Ducati, but she doesn't sound like a massive Ducati V-twin. Obviously it's the 796 or the 803cc V-twin we're talking about, but I think you need to whack some Termagionis on there to get the best sound out of this, because it does sound a little bit tame, but maybe that's not a bad thing for kind of a lot of city riding and for people that have neighbours that you might want to be getting on to commute on this at 5 in the morning, like I do. These wing mirrors, while they're quite cool, and as much that if you're going through traffic, a little knock, they will just fold away. It's really frustrating, because if you're like me and you're a bit of an OCD person and you want to set your mirrors up perfectly, little touch and they just readjust. But you can get separate mirrors with indicators on if you so desire. I like the layout of everything. Indicator switch is still a little bit fiddly. It's been one of those things I have with Ducatis when you've got your winter gloves on, your hands are getting numb. It can sometimes be a little bit hard to tell you've cancelled it. But let's look at some more positive points. Handling on this is amazing. It's got non-adjustable suspension, but I've not bottomed out on it, and I don't think you're going to unless you try and go massively green laning. It really, really does like to be chucked around in corners. It feels light, it feels nimble, and that's what you want on something like this. It's got 81 brake horsepower at the back wheel, which again, as I say, because it's so light, 167 kilos dry, this thing just feels like it wants to fly and it wants you to really ride it. It's £7,395 for the red version. You get the matte black one, I think, for $6,995. And as it comes in at Insurance Group 15, I think it's a viable option for a lot of people that might be looking for a sports bike once they've passed their test. You could probably get one of these and have a lot more fun on it because it's a lot more rideable and a lot more usable. Anyway, it's been my first review for the Motorcycle Diaries, now powered by BikeChannel.com, and the Ducati Hypermotard 796 gets a big grin factor thumbs up.